I would venture to say 95% of wholesalers do not know how to dispo properties. 95% of wholesalers do not know exactly how to go out here and get deals done. The issue is 95% of wholesalers, when they get a deal, they can't go out here and get it sold. They think, oh my gosh, I locked it up for too high. Or maybe everyone's just an idiot and I, for some reason, have the best deal ever. No one can buy it. And it's very sad to see people who can't dispo properties. And I would say most people don't even know how to talk to buyers the right way. I mean, I would say a majority of people get a property locked up and they think, that's it. Deal's done. I got it done. It's so easy, when the truth is that is not at all how you should be wholesaling houses. You see, if you can learn how to dispo all of your deals in under 5 minutes, game over. We solved all the issues. But here's the problem. Most people have absolutely stupid, sucky deals. And they don't know what makes the deal sucky. They also might have a great deal, send it to a buyer. Buyer doesn't want to buy it. Why not? I don't know. There might be a secret reason. But everyone wants to blame that. Oh, it's just the price. Price. That is the only thing that sells wholesaling real estate deals, when that's not the truth. It's not price that is going to make it or break it for some of your deals. And what I'm going to do today is show you exactly the easiest way to dispo your properties. You see, the worst possible thing that always happens is you get a deal locked up and you feel like you have to cold call 5,000 buyers. Or you feel like there is this magic software. Okay. There's this magic software. If I go out here and buy it, then I can sell my deals easy. That's not the truth either. A lot of people tell you that there's this magic pill. You got to take this, do this one special software, and then Dispo is done for you. It's a joke. Guys, the first step we got to talk about, okay, stop cold calling for your cash buyers. I would say majority of people watching this are absolutely wasting their time cold calling cash buyers. You're just wasting your time. You're wasting your seller's time, because you ain't going to even sell that deal because you don't know what you're doing. And you're just wasting everyone's time. You're not having any success. And what I'm telling you is, if your entire disposition strategy of finding cash buyers and selling your wholesaling deals is just calling buyers, you're done. I mean, you got to remember, like, majority of the time, 80-90% of the time, you're spending just trying to go out here and getting a deal locked up. And then, you spend 80, 90, 95% every time just trying to go out here and sell a deal. You're like, you got the deal locked up. You spend all this effort getting that deal. And now you're like, I don't know. And you see me go out here and flexing. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm making 90 grand on a deal, 80 grand on a deal, 70 grand on a deal. And you're like, oh my gosh. What? It's majority of the time it's finding the deal. But I'll tell you right now, you can sell the deal really easy. Like, if you go out here, lock up a deal, and you sell it to the first buyer you find, you might make 20 grand. But if you have the right buyers, you can make 40 or 50 grand. So that's the other secret of it, right? And again, I probably make more videos on finding deals than it is going out here and really selling them. Because in my personal opinion, I feel like selling a deal is the easiest thing ever compared to finding the properties and finding the actual good deals. But I don't think I speak enough on the dispo side. And so what I want to do today is give you my entire guide on dispositions and selling wholesaling deals. Because, to be frank, we're starting to lose our minds, lose our process when it comes to selling wholesaling deals. And so we got to get back on the right track here. I've seen a lot of people thinking you need the magic softwares, you need these magic processes. And it is true. Majority of the time you should spend actually going here and finding the good deals. But you guys are absolutely just dropping the ball on the finish line, right? You're at the 10-yard line and you're just fumbling. We got to go out here and get it done a little better. So let's go out here and just cut all the nonsense. Let's rewire your brain. Everything you know about selling a wholesaling deal or dispositions, take it, shut it off, take it out of your brain, throw it away. All your knowledge on dispositions, throw it out the gutter. You see, guys, we are in 2026. This is a new time. This is a new era. Wholesaling real estate is a lot different now than 2023, 2022, 2021. You see, when I got started wholesaling real estate 2016, 2017, right? About 9-10 years ago, it was actually decently easy to find a wholesale deal. And it was a little bit more work than it should be to go out here and sell them. And really from when I started 2016 to really 2022, that was the case. In 2020, that was the case. But from 2020, like 2022, 2023, it was extremely hard to find a good wholesale deal, but it was stupid simple to sell it. Guess what? Real estate investing, wholesaling, just real estate in general, always goes in cycles. I've been saying this since I started YouTube 8 years ago. Wholesaling real estate it's cycles. And it's a cycle where it's easy to get deals. And then there's a cycle where it's hard to get deals. Easy to get deals, hard to get deals. And then when it's easy to get a deal, usually it's the opposite, where if it's easy to get a deal, it's hard to sell it. And then it's very hard to find a deal, but very easy to sell. Supply and demand, right? Wholesaling real estate, it's all ebb and flows, ebb and flows, ebb and flows. And I don't get into politics, interest rates, all. That's just how this whole entire real estate game has gone since, I don't know, 300 years ago, since George Washington, founded the United States of America, right? So that being said, we are now in a phase where it's actually starting to get easier and easier to go out here and find deals, especially since 2 or 3 years ago. It's getting easier and easier to find deals. And now we're in a spot where it's not hard to find buyers or not hard to sell your deals, because I think it's actually easy, but it's less easy than it was. And the funny part is, when it's not super easy to go out here and sell your deal, and everyone's been playing, Dispo on, easy mode for a video game. Now we're on, I call it amateur mode. Now it's not easy. It's now in amateur mode. And now we're about to go to semi-pro and then all Madden. They can't handle it. They just want to do the easy mode. They want to make it super easy and simple. And they're absolutely getting screwed. And so we're in a part now. It's still not hard. It's really not. And if things ever get hard, then I'm going to crush everyone. But I'm going to show you exactly how to crush it. And so let's break this all down. So let's go clear minds. We're in 2026, so things are a little different. Let's break this down. Guys, let's just choose a market like Atlanta, Georgia. All right? Everyone loves Atlanta. I would venture to ask people, actual real estate investors, real wholesalers in the area. It's like, how many cash buyers are in Atlanta? If I asked you guys, how many cash buyers are in Atlanta, Georgia? You would probably tell me, I don't know, 10,000, 8,000, 9,000 cash buyers. And that's not really the case. What I'll tell you is, if you want to talk about like real estate investing wholesale buyers, I'll buy your wholesale deals right now, I'd probably tell you 200 to 300. That is probably at most how many actual real legit buyers, because you got to remember, if you think of a buyer pool, right, a whole little like pie chart, most wholesalers say, oh, I'm just going to go pull a cash sale list and for the past year, and that's how many buyers there are. That's not the case, because if there are 4,000 cash sales, take out people that just buy houses for cash. Okay, now you're maybe at 3,000. Well, how many of those people are actually repeat buyers? Okay, 1,500. Well, how many of those people want to not deal with on market and they actually just want to do off market? Half that. Now you're at 700. And how many of those people will do it without a realtor and actually go through you? 400 or 500. So 200 to 300 real buyers. Maybe we could double it if you want to go crazy. But a lot of people like look up how many cash sales there are, and they honestly just believe that's how many. There's not. And so the point here is, there's a lot less buyers than you probably could even conceive in your mind. And if there's only 200 to 300 buyers, that means we shouldn't just ram through a list and just go call, and go nuts. Like, that's not how you're supposed to do dispositions in 2020. Like, guys, there's a limited amount of buyers out there. Just understand that. And so a lot of people, when they're doing their wholesaling, right, their marketing, yes, it is true for your marketing. Adding volume is easy to scale. But when you're in a specific one market, adding volume to your dispositions, calling or texting or outbound is not going to help you out, right? Doing 2 or 3 times more cold calling for buyers is not going to help you dispo a bad deal. And so you got to remember, there's not 7,000 buyers in Atlanta. There's probably 200 to 300 real buyers. So remember, the amount of sellers, I wouldn't call it unlimited, but it's basically unlimited when it comes to scaling. The amount of buyers is very limited. That's not a problem. And to be real, buyers they're very simple creatures. They just care about making money. That's what they care about. You see, if you want to scale your marketing and deals, you do it with volume. You don't do that at dispositions. Now, we got to understand, how do cash buyers operate? Cash buyers operate on one simple basis. You got to remember, cash buyers, they're not going to buy your wholesale deal based off of your rapport, your awesome personality, and friendship and gumdrops and rainbows. Cash buyers do not decide to buy your deal based off of rapport, personality, and friendship. That does not happen. I don't care who you're talking to. That is just not how you go out here and sell a wholesale deal. Cash buyers, most of the time, only care about one thing. Can this deal make me money? Okay. That is just the general North Star of capitalism. And that's what wholesaling real estate is. It's capitalism 101. Supply and demand. Okay. Can this deal make me money or not? That is it. And a lot of wholesalers, it seems like what they do is like they're trying to trick someone, right? Remember, if you have a bad wholesaling deal, 9 times out of 10, you can't trick somebody. Okay. If you have a deal that the actual property is worth probably 120 grand and you try to sell to them for 150 grand, cash buyers, remember, they're not buying a $300,000 house cash in their bank account. They're not doing that because they're dumb. They didn't get that much money in their bank account being stupid. They didn't make $1 million last year flipping houses because they're absolute idiots. All right. And you kind of insult a lot of these buyers' intelligence by sending them a bad deal. And not a lot of people understand that, like, you insult intelligence pretty bad by doing it. And you can sour at your buyer. So again, if you have 200 real buyers and let's say you sent a bad deal to all of them, now you're known as the guy that, the wholesaler that cried wolf. And now you're just sending really bad deals to them. You got to remember, I kind of call this the pizza shop analogy. And I'll be honest, I've done over 4,000 wholesaling real estate deals. And I could probably tell you, out of all of my deals I've done, there's probably been about 50 of those deals where the buyer got it's hard, it's bad to say, but like the buyer got royally screwed. Like royally screwed. I remember this one deal and it hurt me so bad. Where basically we sent the deal to the guy and I locked it up for like 150 grand. I sold it for like 180 grand, right? I make 30 grand, right? And he was supposed to buy it for 180, put like 50 or 60 grand into it and sell it for like 290 and, make a decent profit. But he bought the deal. And again, I was an idiot. I'm a teenager. I was a teenager at the point. I was like 19 years old and I had zero clue. And to be fair, I was virtually wholesaling it. And he came by the property and I told him I'm virtually wholesaling it. And I was in college at the time. And basically he went by, thought the property was fine. There's a pool. And the pool was cracked. And basically the whole the whole pool had to get like destroyed. Like they had to it was bad. The pool was so bad. I don't have the whole definition of it, but like small crack in the pool. The pool leaked out all the water, and then basically because they didn't have the pressure anymore, the whole thing cracked, and it was just they literally had to fill over the pool and unpermanent the whole thing, and he ended up losing like 20-30 grand on the deal, and that was his problem. Like I have other deals where I sell to the guy, and then like 10 days after he buys it, he finds out the foundation sucks, or there's termites on the property, on like a wood frame house, and all these things that like outside my control. Now, the issue here is, it's not my fault, and they understand the risk they're taking. But you got to remember, like 50 out of 4,000 properties is I think I have a pretty good track record. But the one thing I'll tell you is about 1% of the deals, you're never going to lose money on. That's really good for house flipping. But I'll tell you that there are deals that I send that aren't good. And here's the thing. So that pool analogy, I remember this buyer once. He was buying my deals. I was making 30, 40 grand in assignment fee with him. And then after I sent him that one, remember, this is how buyers work. I sent him probably 30 deals until he got that bad deal. I was making 30, 40 grand with him per assignment. He didn't care. After that, he got so soured from house flipping. The next 10 deals I sent him, he wanted me to make like 5 grand. He was super conservative on everything. Bro made, call it, I don't know, 15 deals for me, right? 15 deals. He made probably 40K per deal. I'd probably call it 50K. He made about 750 grand, but he lost 30 grand on one deal. And now he's like super conservative about everything. And it's like a pizza shop. You're going out here and you're selling pizza, and the guy, he goes pizza shop 15 times. He loves every time. And then the one time it's like the worst possible thing. It's like he throws up, gets the word food poisoning. he's probably not going to go back to your place for a while. He might come back, but he's going to get a little salty about it. And so you got to remember, I sent him a lot of money. So again, he made a lot of money with me. He came back, he started buying deals. He's fine. It's one bad deal. He's just learning, right? But if you're that type of guy that thinks that you have a really, really bad deal and you give it to the guy and he just loses money on it because he's dumb and he buys your deal, you make your 15, 20 grand. You lost that buyer for life pretty much. If that was my first time with that buyer, I would have never been able to sell a deal to him probably ever again. And the moral of the story here is you're supposed to make your buyers money. I want everyone to understand that you're supposed to make your buyers money. Supposed to make your buyers money. Okay. Just understand that. Okay. You're supposed to make your buyers money. So the 2026 disposition strategy is simple. Guys, buyers that I found in 2026, right? They are clutching to their wallets a lot tighter in depreciating markets. So if you look at the year over year real estate values around the country, right? Some areas hotter than others. Interest rates are a little insane. But if I look at a chart of the United States of America on home prices by state, let's do by market right here. Here we go. And 2025, 2026 by market. I think from my last research, about half the markets are up and then half the markets are down. So let's go to my favorite resource in the world. These are forecasts? Oh, geez, get out of here. Let's just go out here and do this. Like, let's do Colorado Springs Zillow value. This is going to be the best way to do this, right? So if you look at a market like Colorado Springs, right? For example, Colorado Springs is down 2.3% year over year. So that means most likely, I mean, with inflation, how the geopolitical terms are in the world right now, gas prices, right? Interest rates probably not going to be cutting for a little bit, right? I would venture to say that if Colorado Springs is down 2.3% year over year, we're probably having another 2.3% dip. So that means if I buy a house for $446,000, I would probably venture that if I hold the property for a year, it's probably going to go down roughly 9 to 10 grand. So I need to buy forward. So I'm going to buy this deal where I'm not going to lose money. Even if I break even, I'm going to lose 10 grand on this because real estate values are going down in the area. So I'm probably going to have to buy it a little deeper probably 2% deeper than what I'm used to. Now, most buyers, they actually go deeper than what they expect because obviously that's how business works. If you go out here and you look at, let's go out here and look at some other areas. Now, if I want to go do in Sarasota, for example, again, I can't spell tonight, but like Sarasota's down 7.6%. Guys, if you don't think a buyer in Sarasota, and I've sold deals this year in Sarasota, they're like, bro, property values are down 7.75%. I'm going to buy deeper than I have before because property values aren't just shooting up. Remember, if you look here on like how Sarasota, like the market value, right? If I bought a deal in 2019, I held it for a year, I know it's going to go up in value. So I'm not going to really buy deeper, right? Property values, you bought it right here, September 2021, 363, it's going to keep going up. Just holding on to the property will make you money. But really, 2023, kind of property values went stagnant. They actually went a little up. And now we're starting to hit a decline in values. Not a bad decline, but we're starting to see a decent decline. And, what rises goes down usually. Real estate's usually very stable, 3 to 4%. Anything outside of that, we're going to start seeing swings. But with the swings in Sarasota, like you're probably going to see it swing down a little more again, right? Again, this is the little seesaw right now. But like this is where we're going to see, right? Now, you can go all over the world. You can go out here and do, let's just do Fulton County, Georgia, right? Fulton County's down 3.1. So roughly, you're going to find a lot of these buyers they're clutching on their wallets a little harder. And that means it's probably easier to find deals because how hard it is for, usually property values go down. They're like, man, I got to sell now before property values keep going down. Remember, if you're in Sarasota and if you have a $100,000 house, that house is probably going to be worth 93 grand if you just hold on to it for a year. I better sell now. Oh my gosh. I better sell now. So the sellers are like, dude, I got to get out of here now. And the buyer's like, wait, I'm not going to hold this bag. And so you got to remember, deals are probably easier now. I mean, most markets, right? Probably. But I'd say in areas where it's a little more drastic, the deals are actually easier. It's like, well, property values keep going down. And then you get some idiot sellers. I love it. I was listening to a recording acquisitions the other day, and the sellers are like, property values, actually they're going up, which is hilarious to me. ChatGPT and sellers talking to AI is really bad. Quick story, but basically there's a whole story from Ryan Serhant. He's a very popular real estate agent, and he lost like a multi-million-dollar deal in commissions because the buyer asked ChatGPT if the deal he was buying was going to be a good deal. So like he said, hey, am I overpaying for the property? And ChatGPT said, yes, here are the comps telling you that, yes, you're overpaying for the property. And the buyer's like, I want to get out. And then the seller, unbeknownst to the buyer, said, am I selling my property for way too low? And the ChatGPT said, yes, you are. You need to actually sell it for more. And then gave it all the comps showing it. Because ChatGPT literally has probably one of the worst recency biases ever. Basically meaning that you could literally ask ChatGPT, it's just so funny. You could literally ask ChatGPT, is it okay if I leave my my wife and kids, my family of 4? Is it okay if I just leave them right now and just say, screw you guys, I'm going to go live my own life and, have 30 girlfriends and move to Thailand? ChatGPT will literally tell you, it'll gaslight yourself. It'll tell you, you're doing the right thing. You're caring about yourself, and that's what matters. Like ChatGPT is legit crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys understand what AI is, but like ChatGPT is insane. It just tells you whatever you want to hear. Is it okay if I go beat a wild? Is it okay if I go beat a little puppy? You're doing the right thing. You're taking your emotions the right. It's like ChatGPT is insane. It might not say, but it's legit. It's crazy. You can gaslight yourself with ChatGPT like crazy. And so I could tell you is you are going to find sellers with AI that I found like a lot that gaslight and say, oh, real ChatGPT told me, and I'm having sellers now telling me ChatGPT said real estate's actually going up. Bro, what comps are you talking about? And so just FYI, a lot of people talk to AI. Well, Zach, actually AI is telling me, I'm like, look at the median home sales prices. This is ridiculous. And so I tell you, deals are easier, but you're going to want to get deeper deals. And more importantly, if you take a deal and you blast it, you're so screwed. Like I've seen so many people, and it's so funny to me. They get utterly destroyed blasting out their deals. I've never been a fan of blasting out your wholesale deals, especially with the address. And it's just, it's insane to me why people do this. Like, you might be like, well, Zach, what do you mean? Why is it bad to blast out my deal? I don't know. Maybe number one, you get your deal stolen. So if you blast out 5,000 email blasts of your wholesale deal with the address, right? Guess what happens? Any wholesaler can fake be a buyer. Now they have your address. They're going to call the seller and say, how much do you have it locked up for? I'll offer you 5 to 10 grand more. And I know you guys think, oh, me and the buyer are chill. We're cool. We're homies. I have had I don't want to get in a whole rant. When I was 18 years old, I had 2 deals where I locked it up and then lost the deal because the person said, who do you have it locked up with? Well, it was Zach Ginn. And I was destroying these people. I was destroying people. And they're like, he's 18 years old, right? Like, do you really trust an 18-year-old? I don't know. And by the way, I don't think age is going to stop you in wholesaling, but I legit lost deals because of it. It's just the truth. And if you let the address go out publicly, you're screwed. And these are people cold calling and stuff. And so, guys, don't get your deal stolen. And by the way, you're going to get if your deal doesn't get stolen, your buyer's going to be stolen. And so I get a lot of flack from this. And, I had a podcast with somebody like, Zach, they told me, Zach, can you give me your last 50 wholesale deals? Give me all the addresses right now publicly. And I'm like, what wholesaler in the world would do that? Like, I'm legit asking because I've never seen it happen. And the truth is, if I give you my last 50 wholesale deals I did in, let's say, Palm Bay, Florida, you'll find out I sold my last 50 deals there. I probably sold them to probably 6 buyers. 50 deals I sold to 6 buyers. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to go out here and be like, wow, this buyer bought 10 deals from Zach last, couple months. I better go steal his buyer. And then boom, he stole my buyer. Because all you have to do is look at the address, look at the owner, look at the LLC, look at the mailing address, get the phone number right there, boom, done. And not a lot of people talk about this, but like your buyers, it's a pretty important list to have. You shouldn't just be giving up that address everywhere. Now, I'll tell you this on the other end here. If you do see a guy or gal post the address of their deal, and you don't want to you don't want to snake a seller, snake a seller from a wholesaler. It's always a bad thing to do. But I will tell you, keep that address just in a little folder. Wait 2 or 3 months. The property's going to say property sold, and you're going to see who the buyer on record was. Still the buyer. I mean, guys, be a pirate. I don't really care. If someone just leaves their treasure out there, go take it. All's fair in love and war when it comes to, stealing buyers. But I just don't let people steal my buyers. That's just how I do it. Then probably the worst part, and this is just sucks for Dispo, but like, guys, the magic of the deal is gone. Guys, a lot of the times when you go try to sell a deal, and if the buyer knows you've sent it to 30 or 40 other buyers, usually not good. And there's no like magic art of that. And what I mean by this is when it's harder to sell a wholesale deal, right? There is an art of salesmanship that is involved with that. And basically what I mean by this is you have to be kind of good at selling. Not too good, but like decent enough when it comes to your dispo. What I mean by this is if you have a deal and you call up your buyer and say, hey, I have this deal locked up. It's 123 Main Avenue. I just emailed you the pictures. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're good for it for 150 grand. There's plenty of meat for you on this. And you can probably make about 40, 50 grand on the deal. And he might be like, well, I don't know. I'll think about it. And guess what's going to happen? You call the next buyer up. You say the same thing. He buys it. Guess what happens the next day? That buyer might be like, hey, hey, Zach, I could do, I know you want to sell for 150. I think we're going to make about 50 grand. That's what he's going to say. I'll buy it for 110. Say, hey, sorry, I sold it for 150 grand. And yeah, have a great one. Hang on. Now the guy's like, oh, man. Dang, Zach does go to other buyers. He actually did give me the first shot. And then guess what they're going to do? That buyer, and again, buyers are not dumb. Can we please understand this? Buyers are not idiots. Get it tattooed in your brain. Cash buyers are not dumb. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to look up that address. They're going to see that the other buyer bought it for 150 grand, and he sold it on the MLS for 270 grand and put like 40 grand in renovations. He made a killing on the deal. Like, dang. So guess what happens? Now I have a deal. I'm going to call that one buyer up first. Say, hey, just got another deal locked up. Plenty of meat on the bone. I think I'll sell to you for about 200K. And before you say no, or you got to think about it, just FYI, the last deal I did, bought it for 150, sold it for 270, put 40 grand into it, made a ton of money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the phone, let you look at the pictures, let you comp it, but you need to give me an answer in about 30 minutes to an hour, or I'm going to call my other guy out. Okay? Okay, I'll look at it. Now he's like, crap. I have to make a decision now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sells deals way better than the, I'm going to email 500 people. I'm going to text blast it out everywhere. And there's going to be some leakage there. So FYI, the magic of the deal is gone. That's how you do it. So how do you get started? How would I do this in 2026? I'd probably say first and foremost, I would build a very small buyers list. This is very important. I would build a small buyers list. More specifically, I'd go out here and build a list of actual like qualified buyers. People that are buying properties for cash. They have plenty of money in the bank account. They're okay with you making a fat assignment fee because you're trying to make them a lot of money. They're okay with your title company. They're okay with your assignment of contract, non-refundable EMD deposit, everything you teach inside of freeholstein.com. You're going to be fine. Build a very, 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 very small buyers list. That's what I recommend. Small little gang, okay? A little roster of buyers, 9, 10 buyers deep starting out. That's all you need. And what you're going to do is obviously qualify them, number one. But number two, you're going to learn their buy boxes. This is very important. You're going to learn their buy boxes. And pretty much, again, what this means is you're going to figure out what they want to buy. You're going to be the little waitress, little waiter type guy. You're going to have a little apron on. You're going to have your little pad. And let me grab a pen and be like, there we go. Hey, welcome to Zach's house shop. Well, what can I get for you? And pretty much, what would you like to order today, sir? And they're going to say, I want 3 2s, 1,000 to 2,000 square feet. And I went in these zip codes. All right, I'm going to get to work on your order. And then you go to the kitchen, you start cooking, start calling, texting sellers, getting wholesale deals. And so basically, again, what this basically means, without, trying to be funny, is if you have a buy, and oh man, this is just so funny. The amount of wholesalers that come to me and say, Zach, I can't wholesale. I can't sell my deal. Or the worst one, and this one really boils my blood. The deal just fell apart. The deal just fell off. I don't know what happened. What do you mean? I don't know. I talked to 15 buyers and they didn't want to buy it. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. Man, if I had $1 for every time someone told me that, I'd have a lot of money. Basically, if you're the type of guy or gal maybe that, you have a deal, you call a 15 legit buyers, they all say no, and you scratch your head like, I wonder why. Guys, what did I say in the beginning of this? Why do buyers want to buy? Do they buy because of your handsome looks? Do they buy because your sexy curb appeal that you give to them? No. Okay. I know people say sex sells, but not for wholesaling. Okay. But basically, they buy because they want to make money. And so the moral of the story here is the 15 buyers didn't buy your deal because of one reason, because it didn't make the money. That's it. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Okay, that's a Ben Bala quote. I'm not going to steal it from him, but it's one of my favorite real estate quotes. Again, if they don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And just get that through your brain. Now, if it's in the middle of nowhere, that's probably not going to be a liquid deal where it's not going to sell really quick. So probably nobody wants to go buy that thing. Learn the seller's buy box. Learn the buyer's buy box. So again, get their buy box, because you got to remember, if you're talking to Alfred Jones, who's a buyer, and he's bought 30 properties in the past 10 years, he doesn't own 30 properties cash, probably $12 million in equity from just Alfred's not an idiot. Okay. I know you guys might think you're going to pull a fast one on the guy. You're not going to. Alfred's not dumb. He owns $12 million of real estate, all free in equity, 12 million equity. He got there because he's smart. He knows where the market's going. He actually reads things. He understands things. And so maybe that guy's kind of smart. Maybe you should listen to him. Hey, Alfred, I'd love to send you some more deals. What's your buy box? What type of deals can I send you? Hey, with the market and everything right now, I'm looking to just only buy 2 1s or 3 2s, and they need to be within, FHA limits. So they need to be under $500,000, and they need to be 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. They need to be in this specific criteria: 1 to 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms or 3 beds or 2 beds. That's it. It has to be at least 2 bathrooms though. No 1 bathrooms. And okay, what areas? Well, these are the hot areas. Boom, 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 boom. Got it. Get their buy box. Then you can market to that buy box. And then when you send Alfred a deal that he specifically asked for, he's not going to say, oh, I don't want it. Guys, that's how easy it is to wholesale. That's how simple it is. But a lot of people just want to just go out here and try to go out here and, get a oh my gosh, I'm about to crash out. And I'm crashing out by myself. I'm not crashing out from somebody saying something. But, I got a deal sent in. I had a guy DM me yesterday. Zach, why did you deny my JV deal? How dare you? It's such an honor. You should be kissing my feet of me sending you the deal of a lifetime. You're going to become a multi-millionaire off of this list. And this guy's so mad that I denied his deal. Do you want me to tell you about his deal? He had a property, a FSBO, okay? FSBO for $250,000. He locked it up for $245,000. And he's like, we could sell this to a buyer for $247,000, $248,000, or $250,000. He also told me you might be even able to sell for $260,000. Why 260? Because I comp the property myself. And little do they know, they're underlisting the property for what it's worth. Bro, it's been on the FSBO for 200 days. There isn't no hidden. There's 2,000 views on the property, homie. There's no hidden value. Okay. And I get wholesalers that lock up deals for like listed for 230 and they lock it up for 229 or like 230, 229. They're like, oh, why don't you really do my deal? Why don't you send it to my buyers? Because I know my buyers aren't idiots and I'm not going to give them a terrible, terrible deal. Guys, it's insane. So remember, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Okay. What's they're saying? You know, money talks, BS walks, same thing. So guys, what you need to do is you get a deal. And if it is a good deal, you call the buyers up one at a time. Do not be going out here and blasting it out. And again, there's other people in wholesaling that say, blast it out, go nuts. Let them do their thing. Okay. I'll tell you this. Not many people say that who've been wholesaling for over 10 years. They've done as many wholesale deals as me. And, you know, by the way, I think I learned from the best, you know, Zach Ginn, he's been wholesaling since 2004. And so he's been through even more cycles than me. I've read more real estate investing books than 99% of wholesalers. I know how this market works. And if you truly believe you just blast out your deals, I mean, I wouldn't be doing it. Just being honest. So you don't sell a wholesale deal from a stupid email. You need a little more salesmanship, okay? So again, there's two main reasons why somebody can't sell a wholesaling deal. Now, there's technically one, it doesn't make money. But let's break down why a deal doesn't make money. Number one, location. So the number one reason why a wholesale deal doesn't sell, and technically the number one reason, the first reason why the deal doesn't make money is it's just in a bad location. Again, it's cliche, but location for real estate. So if I have a property that's valued 30% below the actual like as is market value, and I try to sell it in Dallas, Texas, I could sell it in like 5 seconds. There's a lot of buyers in Dallas. Dallas is a great place. People are migrating to the state and the city. Great location. Boom, 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 boom. People want to buy it. But if I have a property that is 30% below market value in the middle of Yeehawville, Tornado, Texas, with a population of 3 people and 6 cows, and the local Walmart or Buc-ee's is, 45 minutes away, and the closest hospital is 7 hours away, maybe 3 or 4 hours, it's going to be a lot harder to buy that deal. And it's going to sit on the market for a lot longer and all these other issues. And so location is going to be a very big deal. And maybe a buyer doesn't want to buy as a rental because it's kind of hard to rent out a property where literally nobody lives there. So location is very important here for real estate. That's what people say it's what it's all about. Important. Number two, and this is the most common reason, 95% of my deals, they don't work because of this. Now, number one, 5-10% of the time, you locked up. Why can't I sell my deal, Zach? The population for the county is only 2,000 people. Brother, dude. Number two, you locked up for too much. And again, this is probably the worst epidemic, the worst disease wholesalers have, is their stupid honeymoon comping. And I'm going to get into honeymoon comping today. I haven't talked about honeymoon comping, I think, ever. So I'm going to talk about that too. But like, guys, you can't sell a deal because you just lock it up for too much. And half of it's ego, half of it's because you just don't know enough. But man, you guys lock up deals for way too much. And again, I like squeezing the most out of a deal sometimes. But Jesus, when I squeeze out the most out of my deal, I do it on the wholesale, like I do it on the buy side. Like if I want to go and make 50 grand on a deal, I'm not going to go out here and try to highball a buyer. I always sell it to a buyer for a certain price. So they make money, I make money, I'm happy. I try to get the real spread on, the low ball on the contract side. It's a lot easier to get. If you are going to go from making 40 grand average to a deal to 60 grand average, it's easier to low ball it than finding more buyers, because the buyers usually buy for market value for a wholesale deal. Guys, listen to the market. Okay. And again, I don't get into my whole capitalism 101 of how the free market works. But what is the value of something? Let's do Zach's economics 101 tonight. Okay. What is the value? We're live. Okay. So someone better answer it. What is the value of something? Okay. What is the value of this pen? What is the value of this polo? Okay. What's the value of this microphone? What is the value of something? Okay. Where's the value of it? The value is how much somebody's willing to pay. That is right. So let me ask you a question. Okay, we got Zach's Bucky's cup right here, okay? This is a cup that I drink out of. Now, I'm just gonna ask this question. Again, this is Zach's Economics 101. And you guys are watching this because you like me on my live stream, right? If I sign this cup and I say low ball for the win and I sign it, how much would you pay for this cup? If I sign this and send it to you, how much would you pay for this cup if I signed it? This cup retails for probably $20 at Bucky's. People on this live stream, I'm willing to bet somebody on this live stream will pay more than $20 for this cup if I personally sign it, right? Why is that? Because you guys are fans of me. You guys actually like me. If I went, let's say I went to Walmart and say, how much would you pay for this cup? Well, it retails at Bucky's for $20. I'll give you $10 for it because it's used. Ew. Well, why do you guys want to pay more? Because you are willing to pay more than somebody else. Again, I use the signed helmet for an example, right? And then I do it all the time. But like for example, again, right here we have a Miami Dolphins helmet, right? This probably is worth $15. I don't know, $20, right? A Miami Dolphins fan will probably pay $30 for this, and a New York Jets fan will pay $1 for this. What is this helmet worth? If a Miami Dolphins fan will pay $30 for this, and a New York Jets fan will pay $1 for this, how much is it worth? Is it worth $1 or is it worth 30? It's worth $30 because that's what someone's willing to pay for it. On average, there might be a guy willing to pay $40 for it, right? All right. Maybe someone willing to pay $31 for it, but like in general, $30, right? It's what somebody else is willing to buy it for. So what you're going to find in wholesaling, when you have a property and you want to try to sell your deal, if you talk to 4 buyers, let's say you lock it up for $100,000. Buyer 1 will probably pay $120 for it. Buyer 2 will pay $130 for it. Buyer 3 will pay $70,000 for it. And buyer 4 will pay $130,000 for it. What is the wholesale deal worth? Probably $120, $130. There's always going to be people who are going to pay a little more than they should and probably a little way less than what it is. And the problem is a lot of wholesalers, they'll talk to buyer 1. Buyer 1 says $70,000. Oh, my deal's worth $70,000. It's usually what the general market is. So that's why it's important to talk to multiple buyers. You can call them up, try to sell them the deal right there. But just listen to the market, guys. That's it. $30, $21. You see the whole point, right? It's worth a little more. And so you should understand the market, okay? And remember this. People with money aren't dumb. Cash buyers that buy properties for cash are not dumb, okay? And what this means is cash buyers don't care about your comps. Let me say it again. Cash buyers don't care about your comps. The amount of wholesalers I see that like they send the deal out and then they give their comps, it's so funny. Guys, cash buyers care about their comps and their truth, not your truth. People live different truths, okay? It's kind of funny, but like if you ever look at how people are, right? And again, I guess I'll use me for an example. It's all about me tonight, I guess. But like, there's people who walk around this earth that like legit hate me, right? Like they're like Zach haters. They legit look at me through the lens of like, I'm this evil, like terrible person. And they got like most people who like, oh, I love Zach. He's awesome. He made me $30,000 last month. He's the best guy in the world. Both those guys, I'm the same good person. I do what I do. But from what I do, two people have completely different narratives of who I am and how I live my life. Maybe in a past life I might have, for example, maybe I'm driving and basically, there's a yellow light and I just stop in front of the yellow light. The guy in front of me thinks I'm an idiot. Does that make me an idiot? I don't know. It's just his perception of me. I never see the guy again. But like people live different truths. People live different lives. So there are people that absolutely love Michael Jackson, people who absolutely hate Michael Jackson. There are people that love LeBron, people that hate LeBron. LeBron's just LeBron. But there's different people have different lenses of how the guy is. And so just understand that your wholesale deal to one buyer is a great deal. Maybe it's a bad deal to other buyer. Maybe to you it's the best thing ever. And so the biggest issue we have of why properties are locked up for too high is I would say 95% of wholesalers do what I call honeymoon comping. Okay. They comp with like these heart glasses. They're in the honeymoon phase. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to find comps that only support my narrative that this deal is worth 150 grand. And again, I use the FSBO example because it happens all the time and it drives me absolutely crazy. But let's say it's a FSBO for sale by owner, 250 grand. It's been on a FSBO for 200 days. You lock it up for 245. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to go find comps that justify why you can sell the deal for 270, even though every buyer has had their chance with this deal. And guess what? What you're going to do is you're going to find properties on the water. You're going to find really nice renovated properties and just underestimate what the renovation is going to be. And you're just going to honeymoon comp. You're going to find only the most highest price per square foot properties, and you're going to make your own comps to make it feel good to justify your price. And guess what happens? When you send that to a buyer, when the buyer does their own comps, they don't do that. They don't look at your deal with rose-colored glasses. They look at it with black death glasses. And cash buyers do what I call doom comping. Okay? There's honeymoon comping, and then there's doom comping. Very different. So basically, when your buyers look at your deal, they're going to do doom comping. They're going to look at, okay, well, I'm actually putting up my own dang money. All right, like, hey, I actually have to put 200 grand in my bank account on this deal. I better not screw up here. Let's look at the worst case scenario on this deal if it sells for what comps in the area are. And guess what happens? You have a clash of two. You have the wholesaler who thinks this deal is worth $1 million, and you have the buyer who thinks, oh, I better be careful with this. Guys, honeymoon comping is when you comp and you're like, what could go right? What could go right? And then doom comping is what could go wrong. You see, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. It's usually somewhere in the middle, right? That's why in comping, you take out your highest and your lows. Usually buyers bring in the lows, wholesalers bring in the highs, and there's an answer in between here. But what I'm going to tell you is, even if you decide you're going to doom comp, or you're going to go out here and comp a property as a buyer, or like act like as a buyer, you're probably going to find that your buyer is going to come up with their own calculations and your own values. That's why I think it's always funny when wholesalers come up with their own like perfect calculations. ARV minus repairs multiplied by the third integer, and then pi multiplied by 4, and then you do this whole little stupid little thing. Like, to be real, if you have a deal and you lock it up for 100, you try to sell it for 140, the buyer's going to have his own calculations and say, 140, I'll probably do 135, or I'll do 145, right? And they'll do their own like calculations for it. That's it. Guys, one of the worst possible things you can do in Dispo, which nobody ever talks about, is don't be the wholesaler that cried wolf. This is by far one of the worst possible things you can get into. And it's like taking drugs. You just don't want to do it. Okay. It's going to be very bad for you. And what I mean by this is, if you have a certain amount of buyers and all you do is send deals that are really bad, you're then just not going to be answered by the buyer. Ain't going to even deal with you anymore. You're the wholesaler that cried wolf. You always send bad deals. You go straight to spam. They don't want to answer your phones anymore. And guess what? The boy that cried wolf, you send bad deals, and then you have the magical deal of a lifetime. The buyers don't want to take your call. And it's probably not even worth my time to look at it. And the way I explain it is, cash buyers are like scared little kittens. And again, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of mean to say, but like, I don't know if you've ever like fed like stray cats. I always love all animals. They're all awesome. But like, cash buyers are like stray kittens. What I mean by this is, usually the first deal you send them, they're very cautious of you. Second deal, they make money with you. They trust you. And then the third deal, it's like the third day you feed them, right? They love you, right? They absolutely adore you. Same thing with cash buyers. If you send good deals to them, they're going to love you. But you scare them once, they get a little freaked out. So how in the world do you make more on assignment fees? How do you make more money? Well, if you want to make bigger assignment fees and have buyers trust you, make the buyer money first. You see, if we ever have a 2008 situation all over again, and the amount of people buying properties goes down to like half or 30% of what it is now, I'm chilling. Because I have a lot of buyers all over the country that they've made millions of dollars with me. And so if the economy ever goes bad and they're talking to 5 other wholesalers, I've made them more money than anybody else. They know for a fact when Zach sends a deal, I'm going to buy it from him. It's pretty cool. And so when the economy goes weird and they maybe not make too much money through it, they're not going to go with you. It's very, very, very important. Okay. And so you guys want to avoid what I call dispo jail, which is you get a deal locked up, you panic, you cold call, you try to sell the deal, you don't know how to do it, when you could just go out here and have 5 to 10 legit real buyers. You call them up, you send the deal, boom, you sell it instantly under 5 minutes. It's easy. Okay. Now the real question is, how do you build a buyer's list? How do I start, Zach? How do I start building an actual good, legit buyer's list? How do I build the buyer's list? It's pretty simple. Number one, again, is Facebook groups. I think one of the easiest way to find cash buyers is Facebook groups. There's a lot of frogs to kiss before you find your prince. There's a lot of fake cash buyers. This is why you qualify them. So if you have this, I'm guessing I'm going against myself, but it's just true. Guys, if you have a 19-year-old kid that says he's a cash buyer, he's an aspiring flipper, he has some Miami penthouse in his profile picture, he's super arrogant, just ask him, give me the past 3 properties you bought for cash. They're not wholesalers, so you can't really steal the buyer. They are the buyer. You will see these 19-year-old Miami kids fold really quick. Why do you want to know? Can you just show me the last 3 properties you bought? I don't want to give out that personal information. Okay. Well, how about you give me your title company? I can call your title company and confirm you're actually a legit buyer. What? Guys, even if they don't want to give the address, which I guess is totally fine, what's the number of your title company? Hey, Marcia. Hey, I have a kid. His name's Anthony Hernandez, and he says that he buys like 5 or 10 deals from you every single month. Is that true? He uses you guys? Oh, yeah, he's a great buyer. I love him. He always closes. Great guy. Oh, great. He's vouched. You can't really fake a title company because you can independently get their own number and everything. It's pretty simple. Number 2 here, again, one of my favorite is cash sale data. I'd recommend you go to xleads.com because you can pull the list really quick. You can literally do it for free because XLeads has a 14-day free trial right now. Cash sales, xleads.com is really easy. And on top of that, the Zillow for Rents is one of my other favorite ways. Zillow for Rents, guys, I'm going to put a little link on the bottom here. I have a free real estate wholesaling course and community. It's called freewholesaling.com. We're almost at 70,000 people. We're at 69,200 in the free course and community. And if you want to go out here and watch me share my screen and find these buyers really easy, you can also use realtors. Go to freewholesaling.com. The entire course is right there. But Zillow for Rents is another really awesome way to do this. But once you find these buyers, you got to ask 4 specific questions. Question 1, have you bought any properties before? How many? And like what type of deals? So how many deals? You want to ask, did you buy them via cash, financing, proof of funds? And then hit them with a, give me an address of just one deal you've done. Give me one address of one property you bought. All the fake people are going to, okay, here's an address. And then you're like, dude, your mentor bought this, It's like if my name's, Anthony Henderson, and I go out here and I say, give me a property you bought. Oh, here's an address. And it said Rick Ginn bought the house. It's like, you're not Rick Ginn. Well, that's my partner. No. Like, actually, you signed the deed. Like, you signed the deed. I can look up that deed. Or let me call your title company. Pretty simple, guys. Do not give the address of your deal before qualifying. There's a lot of fake wholesalers. There used to be these real. Should I talk about this? I don't know. There used to be these real estate investing and wholesaling mentorships out there that were lifetime, and basically they taught you how to basically daisy chain deals, and then obviously it went south really quick, and lifetime turned out to not be lifetime, but basically it used to be really bad. It's a lot less bad right now, but it still can be bad. I'll tell you this. I would be very, 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 very careful with any buyer claiming to be a buyer on Facebook. Usually they're not good. Okay. And so if you want to go out here and sell your deals, dispo your deals easy, do me a favor, go to freewholesaling.com. I have my whole entire disposition section. And really finding deals is the hard part. Selling them, it's really easy, but you got to know exactly how to do it. And really, if you just go to the Zillow for rents and call these people up who are owning rental properties saying, hey, I'm actually not looking to rent your property. You had a deal locked up across the street. You're looking to buy any more rentals. Pretty simple. XLeads has cash sales. XLeads has Dispo tab. And again, XLeads isn't like this like magic software. It's kind of magical. It's not magic for Dispo. It's magic for everything else. But basically, click a button, put your address. AI will find out who's the most likely buyer. But it's not going to be like, if you call the cash sales, you could find buyers like that too. And that's how you go out here and Dispo your deals. So if you have any questions, let me know. I want to answer them. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Make sure you go to freewholesaling.com and let's break this all down. So let's answer some questions. If you want to hop on any one-on-ones, I have a streamer link right here. And yeah, I got a streamer link right here. If you want to hop on, talk to me, I'm more than happy to help you out. We're live on TikTok. TikTok, the replay of this is going to be on YouTube. So we got most people watching this are on YouTube. So look at Zach Ginn on YouTube, Zach Ginn on YouTube. And if you want to join my free real estate wholesaling course and community, go to freewholesaling.com. Links in the bio. Check it out. All right, let's answer some questions. We're going to have some people hop on here, talk, and let's answer some questions. Olivia, I sent you a deal from somebody. It didn't cash flow, but it's in Dallas, and I know you guys do Dallas, so check it out. James, woohoo! Appreciate it. All righty. Zach is hot on the meta. I'm always hot on the metaphors. Lead with value. Is it worth what a person pays? Yes. 3, 2, 1 per. So you look at 3 solds, 2 pendings, and 1 active certified appraisal standard. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Checking. Awesome. Gayer. No, not that. I have a deal near Boston, Massachusetts. I'm getting ready to talk to the owner again on Monday. I need help. So you need help locking up the deal? Yeah, let me know. Hey, Zach, why is it not showing up when someone is calling me back on XLeads? You're going to have to go to settings, phone system, and then go to the phone number. There's a ... on the right side, configure phone number, and then you can basically change if it's the tracking number or the actual number of the caller. I like the tracking number. To make sure you go there, ask the live chat support there. They'll help you out. By the way, guys, we have our 14-day free trials of XLeads. We are having a lot of people. It's pretty cool, guys. We're still giving away 1,000 free skip traces to every single person watching this. If you want to check it out, go to xleads.com. It's the best disposition software. I'll be real with you, and we'll just talk about Dispo for like 1 second. But if you need help Dispo, I would get a free trial right now to the Pro plan or the X plan, and I would just go into XLeads with a free trial. First of all, go through my whole tutorial, but literally just go in the Dispo tab, and let's just do Boston, right? Let's do Boston, Massachusetts, for example. This is the Dispo tab we have, and literally takes 5. Just let it load up for a second. I'll go through the Dispo tab, and it will find buyers for your deal. So if you go to Boston, these are the top landlords in Boston. You can literally click it. Their phone numbers are right there. We just destroyed everybody with our skip tracing, so it's pretty cool. You can find buyers right there. If you have a deal, so if you go to leads and you choose like a random property. So this is, it's not magic, but it's pretty dang good. So let's say you locked up. Let's just look for a random house, some high equity vacant. I don't know. Let's just find one property really quick. So let's say this property right here, you locked it up. What we're going to do is just press buyer match AI. You have to have the X plan or the Pro plan. If you have the X plan or the Pro plan on the free trial below, you can actually get it right. You can actually use it right now. So press buyer match AI. And literally what AI is going to do is find the most likely buyer for your address. And right now it says this Andrew guy is a great match. He's buying these type of properties. They're flip properties. You can look at rental properties, and these are the top buyers right here. I'm not going to give up all of them. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Buyer Match literally just finds it with AI, ranks them. And most people have to pay a lot of money for Dispo software, and you get it literally with X leads. Pretty gangster. I don't have a pro level X leads count yet, but I was able to dispo this property quickly. Let me know how to get in touch with you. Send me a deal. Sell my paper. Randy.
Hi, how you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you?
All right.
All right.
I got your X leads tryout.
Awesome,
but I haven't started it, but I was busy, you know.
All right, man. Well, what's going on, Randy? How can I help you out?
You guys need apartments, right? I got an idea to make 4-bedroom apartments and have a farm. They got all kinds of farmers. And
I'll buy multifamily all day.
Yeah, but you got to make the drawings and stuff. The architect has to do it, but there's no architects that do it. But I'm like an architect, but I can make you a farm and apartments.
Okay,
and people will be good.
I like to buy it when they're already built.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to build them.
Well, I like to buy them when they're already built. If it's land, I'll just sell it to a developer.
Yeah, maybe you got a developer I can work with.
They're easy. Just go to Wholesaling.com. All the buyers are right there.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Daniel, I think we got cut out last time I was trying to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Good news is I found the probate list. I know how to find it now. The foreclosures. That's basically the same thing if you just look at it, right?
Yeah, to a point, yeah.
For example, I found a property and it was old foreclosure, so it's like says foreclosure 2/2/12 or 24 or 22, and I tried calling up, and I came twice to getting a motivated seller twice.
There we go.
Friday, well, the beginning stages of it. Friday, let's start off the first one. I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. There was a guy in Auckland, Ohio, that had a property in, I think it was a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, I think. Anyway, he says it was there. Said it was remodeled. His wife got murdered. He was in rehab. And then my JV partner, Ryan, he's actually friends with you on Facebook. He does Ohio. He went on the tax assessment property search when you search up information about the property.
Mm-hmm.
He told me it was taken down. So anytime I find a motivated seller now, I search that up to make sure. And second one, I just had, can't remember the name of it, but it was another property. He says it was there. And he also wanted to sell a camp, an actual camp. It had water and all that.
Like an RV
park? I searched up the property again. It was demoed. So
okay, where?
Let me find it.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, I have. Just trying to remember the name of it. Tomorrow I have another one. It's called on Tuesday, my birthday, on another owner's property. How's your day going? Good?
Dude, every day above ground's an amazing day, man.
Yep. Finally getting one letter when I am. So let me find the conversation, if I can find it.
All right, let's check it out.
Where is it here? Gotta go all the way back. And do you know what I just figured out how to use, or I just noticed it?
What?
The X-Lease AI system. that text the owner automatically. I
Oh,
forgot about that.
I got to do another tutorial on it. It's it's a lot, but
There it
it's
is.
pretty advanced.
There we go. Hotspur Avenue, Oakland, Ohio,
Okay.
44 314.
Okay. Be very quiet about that. You want to give the address out?
Sorry.
Jasper, Ohio, you said? Is the
Akron, Ohio.
Akron?
Yes.
It's like 50-50. Some buyers are a little weird in Akron.
Mm-hmm.
How many acres is this property?
Hang on, let me just pull it up. That deal's off anyway because
Oh, it's off. Oh,
because the property's not there anymore. It'd been demoed.
well, that's fine. I mean, I could still wholesale the land there. That's not.
My and my JV partner Ryan has all buyers in Akron. That's his bread and butter.
Oh, perfect.
So he doesn't do land though.
Oh, jeez.
And it doesn't show up on X leads.
Oh.
Wait a second. Did I put the wrong one in? Hang on. Is this a match? Wait a minute.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to answer some questions here. Alex says, can you still get A2P approved with the free trial? Yeah, our team will do it for you for free while you're on the free trial. You just have to pay the $20 to apply for A2P, and you have to pay to buy a phone number. You have to pay for the phone number, though. So you have to buy the phone number, then you get A2P approved. But you have to pay for that during the trial. So definitely up to you here. Cut Daniel out. Dang it, man. Corey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
I'm blessed, man. How are you?
Not too bad, bro. It's a beautiful day out here in Cali.
Awesome.
I got on the. I was talking to a seller earlier, and she was like real quick with me. I got one for my VA, and she's like, "Oh, I do want to sell it, but it's going through the court. The court's going to sell it for me in a couple of months. It's a partition sale, something like that." She said, and I like kind of brought it up to chat about it to kind of get an idea of what it was. A partition action sale. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, DM Corey or Evan in Pump on it. They'll help you out. Trust me.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering, like, is it worth even pursuing?
It could be a good pump deal. Just talk to Corey and Evan. You can message them. They'll get back to you tomorrow.
Solid. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Corey. Keep it hush hush. All righty. Let's see. Thanks, Zach. From your experience, when a buyer isn't specific with their buy box and it says just as long as it makes money, does it indicate Sears or Baker? Is that common? To be honest, it's actually more common than you think when a buyer says, I'll buy whatever. Okay, it's a trick question. It's like if we all have women in our lives that love us, right? Some people have wives, girlfriends, moms, sisters, aunts, uncles could be here, and that however they want to do it. But basically, let's use a cousin, for example, right? I have plenty women cousins, and I'm not saying this is women that do this. Guys do this too, but I've noticed the women that I love in my life love doing this. But they love to tell me, Zach, I say, hey, what do you want for dinner? Oh, I'll have whatever. That's a trick question. Okay. That is a trick question because the answer is not whatever. The answer is very specific, actually, like a specific menu item at a certain restaurant that you haven't even thought of at all. It's the pumpernickel bread from, Cheesecake Factory. That's the right answer. But you say pizza. So you say whatever pizza, and they say, no, I'm not feeling pizza. Well, you said whatever. Well, whatever means pumpernickel bread from Cheesecake Factory. I can't read your mind, woman. But that's just how it works. So when the buyer tells you, I'll buy whatever, it's a trick. You got to understand this. You're playing 4D chess here, okay? We got to know the moves 4 times in the head. So usually you're supposed to hit him with this. Now, if it's a woman in your life, you're going to say, I'm okay with whatever. And I'm like, yes, I actually decided where we're going to eat. But guess what? Cheesecake Factory? Yeah, how did you know? Oh my gosh. And then I sound like a genius. But that's just people in general. Buyers, you got to be a little different with. So it's true that it does work. I will tell you that it does work. Oh, what do you want to eat to eat? Oh, whatever. I actually know of a place. Guess which place? It works. But okay. So when the buyer says they'll buy whatever, you're supposed to tell them the most oops, I think I messed up there. I'm clicking too many people today. You're supposed to hit them with you're not supposed to hit them with the whatever. You're supposed to hit them with, okay, well, where do you buy in the hood? Like, hey, where do you buy on Grove Street? Where do you go buy on 3rd Avenue? And then the buyer's going to be like, oh my gosh, no, I do not buy in 4th Avenue. Oh, I thought you said you buy whatever. No, like there's literally crime that's such a crime infested area. But you said you'll buy everywhere. Huh. Okay, so if you won't buy in that area, what buyers do you want to buy? I don't know, I'll buy whatever. Okay, how about this? I know you buy wherever. How about you give me your LLC and let me look up the properties you bought for cash. It's Johnston Street LLC or whatever. You look it up and you see that he has bought in 15 properties in only 3 zip codes. That's where he wants to buy. So that doesn't mean they're a scam. I will probably tell you that probably means that you should just look up where they're buying, their history, and that'll indicate everything. That's why, again, use XLeads. Tell you a little map, show you right there. Luis, what's going on?
Hey, how are you today?
Every day above ground's an amazing day.
Yes,
what's going on?
That's for sure. So I'm still having trouble with the probates. I am in New Jersey market. So it seems that I can't pull them in any county. I tried Bergen, Burlington, all of them. I just can't seem to grab them. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or it's just New Jersey. I could grab them in other states, but not in New Jersey. Do you know anything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Probate 101. You love the state of New Jersey. They love making things very difficult for no reason, and they love taxing people. So I'll tell you this about New Jersey. So did you try to do this online at the clerk of the court?
I tried to do it through you guys with XLeads. That's why I purchased XLeads in the first place. So I know I can grab them online, but that's daunting. So I was just like, oh, cool. XLeads does probate. So let me grab this.
Yes. So I will tell you this. XLeads does do probates. Is it just as good as the county? No. It's probably going to be about 2 to 3 weeks behind, just like how pre-foreclosures are. The XLeads probates is mostly for areas where you have to pay like $1,000 to get the probates. I would tell you the most valuable part about it is pulling the list and then importing it into XLeads. It's deceased probate under the lien filter. I mean, it's not 100% perfect. And if you did it just for that, probably not going to be your best bet for only probates.
Right.
Because it's not 100% effective on there. So
what's my next list then, excuse me, what would be my next list? Pre-foreclosures?
Probates. I don't know why would it be daunting for you? That's my question.
If you could check out, like, just go to Bergen County, you'll see that you can't pull up anything at all, not even 10 days. That's good. Well, I know that. The reason I pay to save time, and I get it. It's harder, but I do have a full-time job and life and everything, and I know everybody else does. But it's just I can't get to the courthouse because I work Monday through Friday, same time that the courthouse is open.
Have you tried emailing them the dockets for the probates?
No, I have not. So, okay.
Yeah, email. So specifically, they usually say, oh, we can't give you the list. Can I get the court dockets? So again, a court docket is going to be a schedule of court cases in the next month of all the probate filings. And it should give you the answer. So they have to give you the court dockets. So again, as a tax-paying citizen, they have to tell you what the judges, what case they're working on because it's all public, right? And so they have to give the court dockets. So that's the secret.
Okay.
Get that. It should they say the estate of, and then should the name on there, and then you can cash in.
Okay, cool. All right. I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Luis. Really appreciate it. And then you live in Jersey, right?
Yeah,
Have you considered a virtual wholesaling market?
I have, but I would have to go back to your course and go figure out how to do that.
I would highly recommend you do Eastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought about that because Eastern
County.
Pennsylvania is like Allentown in that area, right?
Poconos area, East Strasburg,
Okay.
also that whole East PA.
Milford. Okay. All right, cool. It's
You
not
know,
too far from me. So
It's
if
not
I
too
had to go.
far. I wouldn't have you physically drive there if you. I mean, but that's where I would. I'm just telling you right now, Luis. If you spent half your time in Jersey, half your time in Eastern PA, I think you're gonna have a lot more success in Eastern PA.
Right. I understood. Thank you. I appreciate
Stay
it.
for Jersey for the Italian food. Go to Pennsylvania for the wholesale deals. All right.
That I will very much.
right.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm from Jersey. Trust me. I've watched every episode of The Sopranos, so I do understand how it is to be a Jersey guy. All right. Let's see here. I own all my properties in a trust. You'll never be able to see what properties I own. That is also so. That's why you should call the title. If you're that type of buyer, which I'm that type of buyer, I put everything in a trust. Make sure that you have very good. The problem is you could find the trust, and that the trust owns 40 properties. You should have every property owned should be in a different trust, and they should hopefully have different mailing addresses. But if it's like 50 properties on one mailing address, you can probably figure out with software. But yeah, that's great for you. I that's awesome. But just call a title company; they'll be able to vouch for you. And then, by the way, I've had to prove to people that like I'm legit for like as a buyer for a wholesale, and they're like, show me, it's in a trust. And then they go to the deed, and the lawyer signed for me on my property because they're the trustee to the trust. They're basically one of the trustees of my trust, or they're signing on behalf of me. And basically, I'm the beneficiary of the trust, but they're one of the trustees. So a lawyer signed it, so you can't even see who owns it. Again, that's real wealth, is when no one even knows you own the asset. But basically, I will tell you, you call a title company or the lawyer for the trust, they should be able to disclose it for you if you give them permission. Mr. Brown, hi Zach. I'm really motivated about doing wholesaling, but I'm very young in fear of getting into legal trouble. How can I go about this? And could you partner up with someone who could mentor me? Of course, man. So, okay. So if you fear you're going to be in legal trouble in wholesaling, that I get where you're coming from, but what is legal trouble? Breaking the law. So how about I have you, Mr. Brown, close all your deals with a real estate attorney? Do you think a lawyer is going to say you should do this illegal thing? No. So find a title company that's wholesale friendly, that has an attorney on file that looks at all the transactions to make sure everything's done legally. So again, I know this is like a joke, but like it's not a joke, but it is a joke at the same time. Mr. Brown, dude, if you use a real estate attorney in a legit title company, you're not going to be wholesaling illegally. I think you're good. Go to freeholston.com, and I talk about the legalities of wholesaling all the time there. Yeah, Jersey is very expensive. That's why I'm pushing Luis out there to New Jersey. Probably help her out a little more there. Hey, Zach, already paid for 1 month. I would really love someone to hold my hand through the step and closing my deal. My name is Neilton. So Neilton, I would love to help you out. I do not charge one-on-one. I don't do my one-on-one. I don't do one-on-one mentorships. I don't charge anybody to learn wholesaling. Everything I teach is in freeholston.com right there. You can pay for X leads, but I don't have any paid wholesaling programs. So yeah, I mean, I would just go to freeholston.com and learn for free. I mean, I literally give it all for free because I make enough money wholesaling. I don't need to be charging to learn wholesaling. So yeah, everything's free. Go to freeholston.com and then network with people. That's going to be my best bet for you. Again, it's not a good idea to pay for wholesaling mentorship. I just learn for free and get to work. I have a friend who lives in Rockford, Illinois. Dude, Rockford's the Quad Cities is a great market, Dre. Keep it up. So last question. Caden says, is cold call still alive? I want to call 3.5 hours a day on triple line dialer 5 days a week. Drive for dollars AI and high Epstein, $14,000 a month. Maybe high equity. Yeah, dude, cold calling is still alive. It really depends on your market. I would probably tell you that try to cold call 2 hours a day and then text maybe an extra 500 to 1,000 people a day. Doing both with those lists, banger. Absolute banger. So guys, if you got any value from this video, this live stream tonight, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com, the word free, the word wholesaling.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, on TikTok, the replay is going to be on YouTube. And guys, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one. Really.